So why does a house in Switzerland cost so much? The price of houses in Switzerland is very high, especially compared to countries like France, Italy, Germany, the US even. But why do they cost so much? Is there a real reason behind it? Well, there is, and in this video we're gonna see it. Hey, it's Dario and this is Divity Finance, a platform where we can share our best tips and tools when it comes to trading, investing or finance in general. And if you love the subject, please consider subscribing. So in this video I want to talk to you about the price of houses in Switzerland. We have talked about houses in Switzerland, actually apartments in Switzerland, in two past videos. And many of you ask me, how much do these apartments cost and why they cost so much, and they were shocked about the prices of houses in Switzerland. Well, there is a reason behind these prices, and the reasons actually are various. We will cover 4 topics in this video, and these topics cover a little bit of the main reasons why the houses in Switzerland cost so much. So let's start right away with the cost of land. When you build a house, of course, there are several costs, but mainly 2 costs. The cost of the house itself, of the property itself, and the cost of the land. When you buy a land in Switzerland, you can expect to pay a lot. We will see the reason why you pay a lot for the land in a little bit, but as a rule of thumb, you could imagine to pay in Switzerland something around 800 to up to 2,500 francs per meter squared. Don't ask me for feet squared, please. We are not in the US, we are in Europe. So I will stick to meters squared. You can do the conversion yourself, I believe. But again, yes, we are talking 800 to 2,500 francs. As a general rule of thumb though, for normal urbanized areas, you can go from 1,000 to 1,500 francs. I know the range is still big, but the reason why the range is still big is simply because there are various cantons in Switzerland and various demands. You can expect to pay 2,000 francs in Zurich, but you can expect to pay 400 francs in a little city in Ticino, for example. But as a general rule of thumb, as I told you, for normal urbanized cities, we have 1,000, 1,500 francs. Again, I know the prices oscillate a lot, but that's just the reality of it. So for example, in Ticino, prices can go from 1,500 francs in one municipality, and just 3 kilometers away, prices can drop to 1,200, 1,000 francs per meter squared. So yeah, that's just the reality of it. But so why the cost of land is so high in Switzerland? Why does it cost 1,500 francs a meter squared, a piece of land in Switzerland? Well, the reason is simply the scarcity of land. Even though Switzerland has a lot of land compared to its population, we are around 8 million people in Switzerland, but there is a lot of land. If you fly over Switzerland, you will see a lot of land. If you go with the train, you will see a bunch of land. But all of that land is for agriculture. The municipalities and the federal state and the cantons don't give permissions to build houses on those lands. There are many green spaces in Switzerland and many lands for agriculture. So a lot of the land that we have in Switzerland do not come into the supply of construction lands, of lands for property building. So they don't count as land or land for property building. For that reason, there is a high scarcity of property land, which raises the prices of property lands, of construction lands. That's why we can go up to 2,000, 2,500 francs a meter squared in some parts of Switzerland. This is very clear if, again, you fly over Switzerland, or if you take the train across Switzerland, you will see many lands and few houses. In addition to this, which is also connected to this, which is a reason why, there is a very low rate of ownership in Switzerland and a very high demand for home ownership. That's another reason why the land is expensive. As there is more demand and less supply, the prices of land increase. The ownership in Switzerland is around 36 to 40%, depending again on the canton, but as you can see, it's very, very low. Therefore, the demand for construction land is very, very high. And mainly, this balance is kept by the municipalities, by the cantons, and by the federal state, which doesn't give permissions to build on certain lands. Now, let's switch from land to the other side of the cost of a house in Switzerland, or any house actually. The cost of the house itself, of the concrete, of the bricks, of the carpentry, of anything that is related to the house itself. Well, that costs a lot in Switzerland as well. Believe me, you can pay as much for the house as you paid for the land, but yes, it's still very, very high. The labor in Switzerland is very expensive. Salaries in Switzerland are very, very high. You can expect to have a salary of 5,000 to 6,000 francs a month for a builder. Again, depending on the canton and in general on the part of Switzerland. But yes, you can range from 4,000 francs in certain small parts of Ticino, for example, which is the canton where you have the lowest prices generally. And you can go up to 6,000 francs a month where you have less labor coming from the European Union. So this cost of labor brings the prices of the construction of a house in Switzerland to around 800 to 1,200 francs per meter cubed for a normal medium-end house. If you want something more high-end, if you want marble, for example, you can go easily up to 2,000 francs a meter cubed and more, but generally you will stay as a rule of thumb to 800, 1,200 francs per meter cubed. Be careful, it's meter cubed, not meter squared, so it's the total volume of your house. Again, depending on the construction in itself, the prices can rise a lot. If you want a underground, you will pay a lot more because the prices of building an underground, so the excavation itself, is also expensive. But again, as a rule of thumb, 800, 1,200 francs per meter cubed. So, how much does it cost to build a house in Switzerland at this point? We have the prices of land per meter squared, we have the prices of the house per meter cubed. Let's combine those and we get that for a normal standard house, we can pay around 1 million francs. And that's for a standard, relatively small house. I built a house a couple of years ago. I worked in a civil engineering company and I was in charge of building this house, which was 10 meters per 7 meters in dimensions. It had 3 floors, 1 underground. It was sold for 900,000 francs in a small city, which you take around 20 minutes, 15 minutes by car to get to the main city, and the transportation, public transportation, is not that efficient in that area. So you can imagine a house in a central city, how much it can cost. Easily 1,500,000 francs. Easily. A house in Zurich, I don't even want to know how much it costs, but I can expect 2 million, 3 million francs easily. There is also another reason why Swiss people actually prefer apartments. That is less expensive simply because you share the land with other people. Therefore, the cost of the land drops significantly. Still, you can expect to pay 800,000 francs for 3 rooms in Switzerland easily, and if you go to Zurich, Geneva, or cantons like that, or cities like that, you can easily pay 1,500,000 francs for 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So yeah, the prices oscillate a lot and the prices are still high even for apartments. And now, on the top of it, we also have the mortgage system, which plays a crucial role in the prices of houses in Switzerland. The mortgage system in Switzerland is made specifically for these prices and encourages these high prices, simply because, as I said in the previous videos, we do not pay out our mortgage. We only pay 33% of our mortgage, and the rest, the 66% remaining, is given by the bank. We are not gonna pay it, or we are gonna pay it in a lot of years, 100, 150 years. we are not gonna pay it right away, such as in the US or in Italy or in Germany. Okay? You guys in Italy, Germany and France and US, I believe you paid in around 30-40 years top. In Switzerland, 150 years, meaning we only pay the first 33% down. Then when we are done paying that, we simply pay the interest and we keep the mortgage like that. That is for tax efficiency, but that is also so that we can afford these high cost houses. Of course, if the mortgage system in Switzerland would change and would make us pay in 30 years our entire loan, it would simply mean that the prices of houses would drop because no one could afford a 1,500,000 franc house where they have to pay the entire mortgage. It's almost impossible to find someone in Switzerland that can do that, like someone normal, I mean. Of course, if you earn 100,000 francs a month, it's easy for you to afford a house like that. But generally, for someone that earns 100,000, 200,000 francs a year, it's hard to afford 1,500,000 francs house in 30-40 years to pay it out completely. And again, it's very inefficient for taxes. So yeah, these 4 reasons all together combined help the prices of houses in Switzerland rise year over year. And again, the main reason is always the supply and demand. But the supply and demand for houses in Switzerland is tricked by the municipalities, by the cantons, by the federal state, which want to keep the properties, the land properties, the construction land as low as possible to keep the prices high. And well, yeah, that's all I had to say for prices of houses in Switzerland. I hope this helped you a little bit understand why it costs so much. When you see a price of a house in Italy, for example, you can range from 100,000 to 200,000 euros, but in Switzerland the same house would cost you 10 times more. Why is that? Well, these are the reasons. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, please leave it a thumbs up and I'll see you guys in the next video.